The dog who wanted to be a tiger. Whimper was a dog, but he really wanted to be a tiger. Nice doggy, said the daddy who fed him every morning. Smart doggy, said the mommy as he carried the newspaper to her. Bye, doggy, said the little boy on his way to school. But Whimper just wished he were a tiger. If he were a tiger, he wouldn't wake up in the morning and yawn. He would wake up in the morning and roar. If he were a tiger, he wouldn't wag his tail and bark. He would crouch down low, whisk his tail slowly from one side to the other, and then pounce. If he were a tiger, Whimper wouldn't sit in the yard and watch cars drive by. He would slink through the jungle, making monkeys screech and elephants and zebras stampede. And if he were a tiger, he wouldn't have plain old brown fur. The big yellow dog next door wouldn't call him Pup. He would have big black stripes on bright orange fur, and the big yellow dog next door would call him Sir. Whimper wished and wished and wished, but nothing happened, so he decided he would have to sound like a tiger. The next morning, Whimper tried to roar. Honey, said Daddy, who fed him every morning, have you heard the doggy this morning? I think he's sick. And the big yellow dog just barked. Hey, pup, watch out. You might be catching a cold. Roush! So Whimper decided he would have to move like a tiger. The next morning, Whimper crouched down low and whisked his tail slowly from one side to the other. And when the mommy came out to get her newspaper, he pounced. She spilled her cup of coffee, ran inside the house yelling, Honey, I think the dog is going wild. That didn't work, so Whimper decided he would have to act like a tiger. The next morning, Whimper pretended that he was really slinking through the jungle. He ducked down as a monkey went screeching over his head. He darted to one side as the elephant stampeded, and he winced as a zebra's hoof struck him on the ribs. The little boy on his way to school just stared at the little dog. He watched him slink and duck and dart and wince. He shouted, Mom! Dad! I think the dog is going crazy! That didn't work, so Whimper decided he would have to look like a tiger. That night, Whimper dragged his water bowl to the dirt pile and tipped it over. He rolled in the wet dirt till he was covered with mud. Then Whimper licked himself, leaving a stripe of black mud between every clean stripe. Now, he said, I will sound and move and act and look like a tiger. Everyone will call me Tiger. The next morning, as Whimper walked around, slinking and whisking and roaring in his big black stripes, the daddy, the mommy, the little boy, and the big yellow dog just stared at a strange little dog, all streaked with mud. They didn't know if he was sick or wild or crazy, or all three. The little boy was so surprised he completely forgot about the fish pond behind him. He backed right into it. Uh-oh. Whimper was so worried about the little boy that he didn't stop to think that his tiger stripes might get washed off. He dived into the pond and pulled the little boy out. Who cares if I'm a tiger or not, thought Whimper. As long as everybody's okay, that's all that matters. I don't even care if the big yellow dog does call me Pup. Again, the daddy, the mommy, the little boy, and the big yellow dog just stared at Whimper, but this time they stared because they were proud. The little boy said, Whimper was so brave, he deserves a new name. It should be something wild and strong and brave like Tiger. Everyone agreed. Nice tiger, said the daddy who fed him every morning. Smart tiger, said the mommy as he carried the newspaper to her. "Bye, Tiger," said the little boy on his way to school. And the big yellow door next door looked at Tiger and called him Sir. The end.